Good day, everyone. Let's talk about knowing oneself. And by the way, my name is Kenneth J. Kamya. How to know yourself? We have 5 steps. Um, First, get to know your personality. Second, get to know your core values. Third, get to know your body. Fourth, get to know your dreams. And lastly, get to know your likes and dislikes. Before we start, let's begin in this topic. Knowing oneself. Why is knowing yourself is so important? Well, that's because knowing and understanding yourself can help you make better judgments, develop your decision-making habits, create and achieve suitable goals, and live a more productive and fulfilling life. You can take a variety of fun personality tests and self-evaluation exercises to help you get to know yourself better. And let's start to our main topic. How to get your to know yourself in 5 steps. The first step is to recognize your own individuality. One aspect is that you have the collective opinion of others. You also have your own database of information about what your personality is like in real life and who you are in the both private and public settings. The goal is to get to know your personality from inside out, to figure out who you are and what you aren't. Recognize what causes you to behave in a certain ways in a variety of situations in life. Answer the question in the mirror. Why did I do that? Second, get to know your core values. Your fundamental values are the ideas and moral precepts that you hold dear to your heart. One of the first things I ask my client before our coaching session is for a list of their top 8 essential beliefs. You definitely have more than 8 values, but the top 8 are the most important in decision making, persuasion, dispute resolution, communication, and everyday life. Which ideals can you never compromise at your profession, at home, or in any other element of your life? Those are the guiding principles. Number 3, get to know your body. Youth is full of folly. I used to think I knew my body when I was in my 20s. I was only a child at that time. My body becomes more mysterious the more I understand about it. And the more I push it, the more it surprises, delights, and amazes me. You might be able to as well. How will you know your body, breathing, abilities, balancing, and flexibility's limit? Have you ever stated to yourself, my body can't do this, or my body type won't do that? Before even undertaking a physical challenge, take another look before closing the door to fantastic possibilities. Take the time to get to know the most beautiful temple on the planet, your body. Number 4, get to know your dreams. Your ambition and dreams pave the courses for your future. They assist you in creating life that you can be proud of. Your aspirations are important. Your aspirations are significant. Your dreams are worth pursuing. Nothing less will suffice, and begin to get to know your dreams intimately. Learn the ins and outs of the situations. If you want to be able a musician, think about what instrument you'd like to play. What level of expertise do you wish to achieve? What percentage of your life would it make up? And so on until you've learned everything there is to know about your dream. And lastly, get to know your likes and dislikes. What do you enjoy? And more importantly, what do you despise? Simple, simple question. Yet knowing this about yourself gives you a lot of self assurance. Many people go through life adoring what is popular and hating what isn't cool. That is not something you should do. Don't put your likes and dislikes up for a vote among family and friends. Instead, take the time to define them. It's entirely up to you. It requires courage to define your own likes and dislikes. It may be unpleasant to object to yet another baby shower or 3 hours spent with extended family, but consider the alternative. You give up a part of yourself if you keep doing what bothers you and ignore what provides you delight. It's the cheapest option.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Curly
And
Badal,
that's all.
and I am the second reporter for Group 1. And the topic that was assigned to me is all about confidence. So, when you say confidence, it comes from the Latin word federe, meaning to trust, having trust in oneself. So, self confidence is believing in yourself. You believe in yourself that you can reach your goal, you can achieve what you aim for because you have self confidence. You don't doubt yourself. You are not doubting yourself. You are feeling comfortable in your true self because you are confident enough. And if you have confidence, you believe in your all around ability to do well. You you are not afraid to fail. It is a belief that combats stress, anxiety, rejection, and failure. And if you are confident, and confidence is a belief in one's ability to succeed in a specific situation. So, why is it important to have self confidence? So, when you have self confidence, you have less fear and anxiety. So, a higher level of self confidence can help you avoid giving into anxiety, break out of the cycle of overthinking, and embrace your full potential. So, like us, students, kagaya ng sa ating students, we are students. So, when we overthink, when we worry, it can affect our academic performance. It can affect our grades. It can affect our performance at school. So when you have that confidence, you will be able to explore new subjects. You will be able to explore your hobbies as well as follow your ambition, and you don't care about what others will say about you because you have no fear, and you have no fear to fail, and you have no anxiety. So that's the importance of confidence. Second is improved motivation. So there are factors that will affect our motivation. One of these is our family and friends. So our friends, our positive natin ano, friends, uh, they will encourage us. They will help us to motivate. Especially tayo, kadalasan sa atin, sa family tayo humuhugot. Our family is our number one uh, supporter. They are the number one who motivate us. They encourage us to push through difficult times. Uh, Ma-motivate nila tayo. That way, we can gain confidence to reach our goals and dreams, and we will feel a sense of accomplishment. And this sense of accomplishment will keep us to moving, will keep us in moving forward. With self-confidence, we can feel that our goals and our dreams are possible to reach, and that you are worthy of achieving those dreams. The third one is you became more resilient when you have the self-confidence. Naging matatag ka. Self-confidence includes us to handle setbacks with ease. So, for instance, sa subject na ito, you are aiming to have a 1.0 grade. And then, at the end of the term, you just failed to hit a mark you are trying to reach. So, instead na 1.0, you get 3.5. Ganon. So, instead of being discouraged by your grade, by your failure, you have a resilience. You have that resilience to get up quickly. Learn from your mistake. Ano kaya ang kulang? Bakit at 3.5 lang ako? Ano kaya ang kulang sa performance ko? So, you learn from it. And then, you try again. And then, you accept that failure is part of a process. Let's not forget that nag-fail talaga tayo because you're only human. And when you fail, make that as a step to move forward. Learn from it. Do not cling to it. When you have that confidence, you have the capability to overcome failure, to recover quickly from difficulties and toughness. So nakaka-move on na kaagad. Make that failure as your fuel to forward, to move on. And next is improve relationships. So, improve self confidence can help a person who suffer from bullying or exclusion from social groups or at school. So, when you have confidence, you are less or not affected by the bullies, by the criticism around you. Kasi kilala mo ang sarili mo. You can say that this is me. Those criticism around you will not affect you at all. And it improves relationship. Yes, because you will enjoy social interaction more because you won't be worried about the impression of others, what others will tell you. You are not worried about their criticism anymore because you believe in yourself. And plus, self confidence will help you develop a strong sense of empathy. It will build relationships with others. For instance, you have a friend who is medyo down siya, na discouraged. And then, you have this empathy and become a person who reaches out to help others. So, tinutulungan mo sila. You'll be able to give advice and encourage them because you are confident enough. And that way, you will be able to make relationships with them. You will be able to improve relationships with others. So last is improve relationships, a stronger sense of their authentic self. So a strong sense of authenticity can be a source of power. When you feel confidence in who you are, what you stand for, and what your strengths are, you can maintain a strong sense of self-worth despite the discouragement that you are facing or the negativity that's thrown your way. uh, you will be able to move forward. In other words, you will be able to embrace your full potential and let the best in yourself shine through. So, how are we going to increase our self confidence or our confidence? So, by recognizing and emphasize your strength, reward and praise yourself for your efforts and progress. So, kahit maliit na progress yan, It's still a progress. So reward yourself, celebrate. When you stumble on an obstacle, treat yourself with kindness and compassion. Huwag ka maging harsh sa sarili mo. Don't dwell on failures. It is okay to cry, but then after crying, you wipe your tears and then move forward. You get up and you move forward. Do not expect perfection because it is impossible to be perfect in every aspect of life. Hindi tayo nagkakamali tayo. We are not perfect. Accept that. But then, you have to bear in mind that in everything you do, you have to give your 100%. So, give your very best, your 100%. So slow down when you are feeling intense emotion and think logically about the situation. Slow down. So when you are pressured, that's the time that low self confidence will attack you when you are pressured. So you have to slow down to think logically about the situation, to think uh, makapag-isip ka ng mas tama kung anong gagawin mo about the situation. So you have to slow down. Recognize that, and then you have to recognize that the past negative life experiences do not dictate your future. So what is past is past. So do not cling into it. So the failures that you have in your past won't dictate your future. Instead, use it as your steps. Use it to get your dreams. Use it as a fuel for you to move forward, as inspiration, as a lesson for you to move forward. So, what excuses do you have for stopping you from your confidence? So, may mga factors kasi that will affect your self-confidence. For instance, your childhood, society, the environment, the childhood, my experience ko to. When I was still, when I was a kid, my mother won't allow us to go outside. So, hindi kami nakakapag-socialize sa kapag laro sa iba. So the tendency is, lumaki ako mahihain. So society as well, the pressure of society is the main contributor to self-esteem, as well as environment, our environment has a big impact on who we are. Lagi natin tatandaan na everyone is not perfect. Mistakes are part of our learning. To use them as a lesson to rise and accept them as a challenge. However, when we cling to our mistakes, it can cause self esteem to drop. So therefore, it would be best if we surround ourselves with positive people. They are the ones who will influence us to have self-confidence. And having self-confidence can boost our self-esteem, meaning uh, we will have acceptance and confidence in our abilities. And we can also change our outlook in life when we have that self-confidence. We can express ourselves better without doubting ourselves. So when you have that confidence, you will never feel insecure about yourself. You will become happy. The more confident you become, the happier you will be. So before my report ends, let me share to you this quote of Napoleon Hill. It says, "What the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. What you think about, you can bring about. When you believe that you can be successful, when you believe that you can achieve your goal, those things can happen. In fact, the more you start thinking about it today and in the future, it will happen. You just have to believe and work for it. Have faith and confidence, then it will happen. So that's all for my report. I hope you learned something and God bless us all.
Good day, everyone. This is a continuation of our report, our group report. So, why self-awareness is your greatest asset? So, first one, it helps you set and achieve your goals. So, as an individual, we make decisions to improve our individual skills and our relationships to others. So it helps you get anywhere you want in life as long as you know how to use it to your advantage. So um, you have to set limits and to how to use it so that we can achieve our um, goals. So why self-awareness is important? So it helps us to become better decision makers and it gives us a more self-confidence. So it is more if we know our self awareness, it give boost to our confidence and it help us build better relationships. But I said earlier, to have a good communications to others, and it make us happier. Syempre, siya makalimutan. So, what are the 10 reasons why self-awareness is our greatest asset? So, the first one is you know your strengths and weaknesses. You know what you're good at, and so um, play. Um, alam mo naman kung saan ka malakas. Example na lang kung sa mga subject, mas magaling ka sa PE. So, you have to focus on um, PE subject. Alam mo na mas magaling ka doon. And then, sa iba naman sa mga weaknesses mo, pwede naman siyang like para sa ibang subject na math, syempre. Sabi nga nila, pag mahina ka daw sa math, dapat mas mo daw, mas doon mo galingan daw. Kasi hindi mo alam na mas magaling ka daw doon. Sabi nila, but I don't know. Not sure. Next is you're conscious of your emotions and how you react to them. So completely aware of your feeling at any given time is important. So you have to understand the feeling of paano mo siya i-accept, and it was your choice naman kung paano mo gagamitin yung feeling na yun. So, kung i-embrace mo ba siya or i-let go para and how to react to them. So, you know what's motivation. So, lahat naman tayo, meron naman talaga nag-motivate sa atin. So, searching around for inspiration probably won't you get you up. So, ano ba talaga yung na-motivate sa inyo? Marami naman iba na they search for advice sa mga barkada or sa parents, pero mas alam mo kung ano talaga yung hinahanap ng self mo para maging lively yung self mo. And I'm sure it's ultimately your only one to get yourself in the right man naman talaga. You know, you're aware how you approach to others. So, eto parang lahat naman tayo may namimit na ganitong klaseng tao. Like, hindi yung example ito yung isang tao na hindi siya aware sa action niya, sa mga words na binibitawan niya na hindi niya alam nakakasakit na pala siya ng iba. So, as a self-aware individual, you pay attention to how others react to you and you can adjust your behavior to be appropriate to any situation. So, lalo na kung first time mo na-meet yung isang tao na to, parang, okay, ikaw na lang yung mag-a-adjust sa kanya kasi hindi niya alam kung nakakasakit na talaga siya, nakakasakit siya ng ibang feeling sa ibang tao. Pero ang ano nito is parang i-advise na lang siguro yung tao ito na mas hinay-hinay lang siguro. Pero hindi naman kung magiging adjust, ikaw yung mag-a-adjust, hindi naman sabihin na push over ka. So, pwede sabihan mo, well, if your friends at least, randomly. So, you are being flexible or and adaptable pag ito yung ginawa mo. So, that would be all. I guess it's thank you for, but we have a next reporter, the continuation of this. So, thank you.
Continue. My topic is all about knowing oneself. This is continuation of 10 reasons why self-awareness is your the greatest asset. Number 5. You know what your values are. It says here, you know what you will and won't tolerate. You set boundaries for yourself and won't let yourself or anyone else cross the line. It means that our values inform our thoughts, words, and actions. Knowing our values is important because it helps us to make decisions, to take an action, and focus on by moving towards the life that we want to live and to create the future that we want to express. In personal values, it is about right and wrong and may or may not be. This behavior, it motivates us and guide our decision. So there are different actions in many forms. Like, for example, maybe you are valued in honesty, and some people are competitive, and the others' values is adventure. So these great resources assess is identifying your values, whether you are focusing too much attention on some values or too little attention on others. So it is important to know our values are for being us to aware and by identifying what the consequences of our action. Number 6, you trust your intuition. It says that your intuition is that gut feeling that tells you when you are on the right track and when you are not. Has your gut feeling ever really been wrong? And when your self-awareness game is strong. So what does it mean? In an old saying, trust your gut. So it is refers to trusting these feelings of intuition. After as a way to be true to yourself, following your instinct can certainly direct you towards the best path of for you. And yet, you might wonder whether you should put so much trust in a feeling or an instinct that you can explain. About the quote of intuition by Einstein, according to my research, this supposed quote seems to be one of many fake quotes attributed to Einstein, in which he supposedly says mystical or spiritual things which do not fit with what we know about the feelings. This quote yet is more comprehensive version. It sounds like authentic, but no reliable source was ever discovered in Einstein writing. So there's no Einstein did make such a statement. Number 7, you notice when you have unkind thought, whether you are being unkind to yourself or others. You recognize this and make an effort to change the way you think. You may not positive all the time, so let's face, but be sure you know you how to get yourself into a positive mindset. A negative attitude is a sure way towards achieving total life. Dissatisfaction and pushing people away from yourself. If you had a few bad experiences when you try to change or influence the world around you, then it's like that only resulted is further disappointment. However, there's always one thing you can do, and it is no small matter, but something achievable. If you really want to do it, change yourself. But how? By achieving a positive mindset. Yes, if you think positively, your language and behavior become more optimistic, consequently, making a positive impact on your habit. Like, for example, learn how to accept rejection, rejected by loved ones, rejected by application, or even the friendship. However, it's painful. You shouldn't allow these unpleasant events to overwhelm you. What's much what's much better is to perceive rejection as a challenge and analyze the situation, understand why it happened and how to improve in order to prevent this from happening in the future. So that is how to build a growth mindset. So don't allow yourself to fall into a desperate void. And the second, like for example, surround yourself with positive people. People who surround us reflect our personality and attitude. So take a look around. Are you surrounded by positive or negative people? Number 8, you understand that your perspective frames your belief. You recognize that your beliefs, values, thoughts, and action are there because of your life experience and what you allow to influence you. You understand that this is the same for everyone else, and therefore you understand that there is more than one way to see or do something. Yes, framing is an important consideration in changing mind as we perceive what we consider to be reality through subconscious frame because we see perception as real, we believe others must also see them as real. So in this way, it can act to change belief and values. Number 9, you know what you need to change. If things don't seem to be going the way you might have hoped, you know it's up to you to change something, whether it's the direction you're heading or just the method you're using to get there. So, it is amazing thing about change is that it's always possible. You can always change your situation, whether that be your career or your relationship. But sometimes it can be hard to know what is time to make a change. We can be stuck, scared, or overwhelmed by the situation, and this causes us to worry over whether it's time to make a change. So there are common signs that it's time for you to finally make a change. Like for example, you live in a past or dream of your someday future. Someday will never happen. If you don't take the steps you need to get there, all you have is the present. The past and the future exist only in your head. The present is here right now. So make a change and finally begin to enjoy what you have. Number 10, you're mindful of your action. You act with purpose because you know your strength. You stick to your values and you trust your intuition. Knowing oneself is critical to being an effective team member as well as being successful in life, work, and relationship. Your personal identify influence everything you do and changes and evolves over time. So it means that bringing your whole self into the present moment, engage with life, and it unfold its power lies and us to practice and application. The more you are mindful of your action, the less pain and suffering you encounter.